Guys, sorry I haven't posted. I was busy with school, and sorry if my voice is a little different today. It's because I'm sick. Yeah, so we're gonna read a fan fiction, which is Levi X Depressed Reader. Whoever owns descriptions, I'll just send the link in the description. Please don't tell me the owner. Okay, so let's start. Ryan's POV. Recently, I have noticed that Levi has been spending less and less time with me. I understand that Levi was a busy man, but it seems he's been going out of his way to avoid me. Every time I glance at him, he turned his head to the opposite direction. Every time I tried to talk to him, he would shoo me away. Now, here I am, in a boyfriend-less, cold, and alone with my insecurities. Is he cheating? Does he no longer love me? Is he going to break up with me? Questions are running in my head, in my mind, preventing me from sleeping. Usually, my insecurities would be wiped away by the feeling of Levi next to me, but now I feel more insecure than ever. I sigh as I realize I'm not getting any sleep tonight. I have the pillow that Levi used to lie his head on, close to my chest. His signature smell of cleaning supplies is now faint. Why did he leave me? Time skip. It's now breakfast time and I eagerly get out of bed for my favorite thing in the world, food. As I walk to the mess hall, I see Levi in the hall, and as I say good morning to him, he responds with his signature ditch. My mood suddenly darkens at Levi's response, but I cover it up with a big smile. As I enter the mess hall and sit beside my friends of the 104th Cadet Corps, everything is normal. John fighting up with Aaron, Armin going on and on about the ocean, Sasha and Connie trying to stealing Valerie's food, and Ymir talking to Krista about a future wedding. As I begin to dig into my food, I look up to where Levi is and see him looking at me, then turning his head in disgust. Have I gotten fat? Is this why Levi won't look at me? Alas, I look at my food now with disgust as I find my appetite lost. I begin to pick only at my food, only eating tiny scrapes before handing it over to Sasha. She looks at me shocked before stuffing her face. Thanks, Ryan, she says with a mouthful of food. Ryan, are you okay? Usually you would rather die than give up your food, said Mikasa. I'm not hungry today, I say quietly. As soon as I said that, everybody goes quiet and Jean and Nero stop fighting. You must be sick. That's the only explanation as to why you aren't hungry, says Aaron with a frown. I don't want to worry anybody with my problems, so I put a big grin and say, I'm fine. Maybe I am a bit sick. I'll go to my room now and rest up before training. After I say this, everybody relaxes and goes back to doing what they normally do. I get up to head to my room, not noticing worried gray eyes staring at me. Time skip. I look into the mirror and see a ghost of what I used to be. I ate less and less, and after I realized how fat I was, and although I was practically thin as a stick, I still wasn't good enough for Levi, meaning I wasn't good enough for myself. I turn my head away from the mirror and with a sigh and exit my room to go visit my best friend Hanji. I open the door to her lap and find her being pinned against the wall by Levi. I feel tears well up in my eyes as a sob escapes my voice. Hearing the noise, both Hanji and Levi turn to look at me shocked. Ryan? Levi asks with wide eyes. I don't know what to say or to do, so I go with my gut instinct and run as far away from Levi as I could. I run all the way to the forest where we train in killing fake cattle titans. Ryan, he yells at me as he tries to chase towards me. I run as fast as I can before I suddenly collapse onto the ground with only a single thought. Was Levi cheating on me? It's my fault. Levi's POV. Before Wine found him with Hanji. shitty glasses. This is all her fault. Why did they even ask for your shitty advice? I asked. Everything's going to be fine. When Ryan realizes how much he misses your company, she'll say yes. When you ask her to marry you, it's foolproof. She responded, no, it's foolish. Ryan has been acting weird, and because of you, I can't ask her what's wrong. Now if you go excuse me, I'm going to apologize to Ryan. As I'm about to leave, Hanji grabs my arm and says, no, you can't. That will ruin the romantic moment when you ask her. I pull my arm out of her grip and pin her against the wall. Fine, but you will ask, Ryan, what's wrong? And I swear to God, if it's bad then, screw your fucking plan. This is better be worth it, I growl. I keep Hanji against the wall until she nods. Just as I'm about to let her down, I hear stops coming from the doorway. Hanji and I turn to the direction of the sound and find Ryan, who doesn't look like anything she used to. She's pale and thin, like she hasn't eaten anything in days. Her normally joyful expression is now stricken with the saddened one. Is this because of me, Ryan? Ryan? I ask. As I'm about to approach her, she runs off. I stand there in shock for a few seconds before racing down the hall towards her. I follow her to the outskirts of the forest and call her to name, when she suddenly collapses into the ground. Ryan! I yell as I rush beside her unconscious body. I pick her up in my arms and begin to carry her to the infirmary when I realize how light she is. This is all my fault. Time skip. Ryan's POV. I wake up in an unfamiliar room hooked to a bunch of weird devices. I hear sobs coming from beside me. I turn my head, which hurts way too much, and find Levi sitting down beside the hospital bed crying and repeating two words. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Levi? I ask, patting him on the head to get his attention. He looks up to me with shock in his red and puffy eyes. Ryan, he says, then getting up in a flash to give me a hug. I'm sorry, this is all my fault. I was so selfish, I'm sorry. I held him closer towards me as I begin to cry. It's been so long since I felt Levi's arms around me. What did I do to make you leave me? I ask. He moves away from the embrace and to look at me in the eyes and with his arms on my shoulders. You did nothing. This was all my fault, but mostly Hanji's. What? I asked. I thought you didn't love me anymore because I was fat and ugly now. I feel tears well up in my eyes. Why would you think that? He asks as he wipes away the tears from my eyes. I love you, Ryan, so much. I was an idiot for asking Hanji for advice. Advice? For what? Levi let out a sigh. I guess this is as good of time as ever. He lets go of me and gets down on one knee. Ryan, you are the most important person in my life. I want you in my life for as long as possible. So if you could do me the honor of becoming my wife and spend the rest of your life with me? I look at him with tears of happiness in my eyes. Yes! Levi lets out a sigh of relief. Thank God, I'm so worried. Levi sits down next to me and wraps an arm around me. He places a kiss on top of my head. I love you so much, Ryan. I look up to Levi and move closer to him. I love you too, Levi. Please, never leave me alone again. Okay, that was the whole fan fiction. I don't know what to say, so I'm just gonna say bye bye.